Ferraro, and I'm here with Bridging the Gap for Veterans, our weekly television talk show. I want to wish everybody a wonderful week and weekend coming up. And I'm here with a special guest today. I have the opportunity to meet Patricia Moran, who's part of the NJMEP organization, and it's a real pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming all the way over from North Jersey to Cherry Hill to be a part of the RVN television.
No problem. I'm thrilled you invited me. I wouldn't miss this for the world. I enjoy getting the word out and thrilled to be here.
You know, I know you now for a few months and all the great things that you're doing for New Jersey and manufacturing at large, especially for veterans and apprenticeships, you know. But, you know, I want the audience to kind of understand who you are as well. Who's Patricia and some of your background as well?
Yeah, I've spent, you know, all of my life in workforce development, always helping people move forward. I've had an awesome career. I always tell my kids if I drop dead tomorrow, it would be fine because I've had just a great career. So I went to college to learn to be a teacher, and I ended up in computer science and business education. And I spent 18 years in manufacturing working for the Ford Motor Company, the Edison Assembly Plant. So anybody out there from the Edison Assembly Plant, they all know me. And then I went, when the Edison Assembly Plant closed and I wasn't in a family position to relocate, I transferred over to Middlesex County College for 8 years, and then I went into the Christie administration as the assistant commissioner for workforce. Yeah, I'm extraordinarily blessed. And then when the Christie administration ended, I went over to MEP, utilizing my manufacturing background. And really, manufacturing has always been my passion. My father was a tool and die maker, so
it's in your blood.
It's in my blood.
But you know, you just laid out education, government, corporations, you know, and colleges, teaching. I know you're a teacher as well. It's a phenomenal background to be able to be doing what you're doing for NJMEP.
Yeah, I like helping people move forward in their life. That is the core of my existence. I get great personal rewards in it, and helping people make decisions that are logical for them, that will help them, that will not financially strap them, and so on. I get a lot of internal rewards from that experience.
Fantastic. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know, NJMEP, did a lot of research on it. Tell me more about it, you know, because this is a phenomenal organization, what New Jersey has here.
Well, MEP stands for Manufacturing Extension Program, and there is an MEP in every single state, even in Puerto Rico. Sometimes they have a different name, like in Pennsylvania, it's the DVIRC, but we are, it gets support from the federal government, where we fall under NIST, the National Institute for Standards and Technology, which falls under the Department of Commerce. And one of the great things MEP has, because they have that national network, that's exactly what they have. They have that national network. So when I don't know how to do something, I have someone who might have done it in another state. And I've already been, the New Jersey MEP has already started exposing me. I went to Connecticut a few weeks ago. We're going to Georgia in September. We're starting to get exposed to, so that I can even create that own network.
That's fantastic.
I appreciate the network.
So business relationships and is all part of the network itself.
Correct.
What's the mission of it at NJMEP?
Number one is just to move manufacturing forward, to help manufacturing.
New Jersey strong.
New Jersey strong. To help close skill gaps, to help them move forward in building a better product, improve quality, better competitiveness, improve profitability, the whole gamut. So, and because I have that strong history of manufacturing, it was a natural match for me.
So I'm thinking in my mind as you're talking robotics and all these different careers. So this leads into the apprenticeship side, right?
Correct.
And opportunities there. I know the governor just signed some legislation or some bills that get funding for apprenticeships at large. Can you explain more on that?
Yep. Apprenticeship is I always call it an alternative career pathway, right? A way for people to learn while they're on the job, as well as getting classroom instruction. And they earn a national credential. In New Jersey, we're governed by USDOL. So the national credential comes from USDOL, which makes it very transferable.
Portable jobs all over the country.
All over the country. So, and in support of USDOL efforts to push registered apprenticeships, the state of New Jersey, Governor Murphy gave out grants, gave out grants to support those, to support all of these efforts. MEP was we were very fortunate to receive a nice grant.
Yep.
So that is the supporting the instruction that is required
I see.
in apprenticeship. So we're very grateful for that.
So, just a quick plug. I want to know. We're just starting to talk about this, but I want someone who's watching TV right now. Can you tell them what website to go to?
Yeah.
Look into that camera there and just let them know where to get more information.
Sure. I'm going to give you MEP's website. It's njmep.org. And I think that website will also link you to a lot of the apprenticeship efforts that we're doing. And I know we're going to continue to talk about them because we have employers now that are actively searching for candidates, and we're giving tests out to see who is the best fit for those candidates, and then to push them into registered apprenticeship.
This is fantastic. So when we dig into the veterans world, right? So bridging the gap for veterans, it's not just military veterans, but military spouses and so forth. What kind of programs does NJMEP have for a veteran who's thinking about getting into manufacturing?
Well, first of all, the first thing I want to mention, because if I don't mention this,
Yep.
there's a huge skill gap in manufacturing. Baby boomers are retiring and getting ready to retire. There's not that backfill, or shall we say that pipeline to fill those positions. One of the great things the military bring to the table is they bring an awesome work ethic. They bring continuous learning and the willingness to learn new skills. They've had tons of technical training in their background, and they work well under pressure. I mean, I don't think there's any more pressure than the military, right?
You're getting shot at, or
right, right. So they work great under pressure. So first of all, that skill set alone, even if they don't have exactly what the manufacturing needs, that brings a lot to the table that the veterans can be extraordinarily proud
They
of.
want those core values, these employers.
Right, they want those core values. So, and now I forgot the second part of your question. So the military have that, and now our viewpoint is if we have candidates that we can screen and bring to employers, they have already that background skill set before we get into the specific technicalities that are taught in the
Someone
apprenticeship.
leaving the military,
Yep.
and somebody could be watching the show right now who's thinking about leaving the military or retiring from the military,
Yep.
And wants to get into manufacturing, because manufacturing is coming back
Correct.
across the country, not just in Jersey.
Correct.
And they or maybe want to open up their own business as
Yep.
well, and be associated to a manufacturing job or career. There is probably a lot of resources that you can provide them on how to get started into the apprenticeship program.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We even were recently awarded the PACE grant from the Department of Labor. PACE is pre-apprenticeship.
Yep.
So even if someone and who isn't quite ready for apprenticeship, we can funnel them into a pre-apprenticeship program and guide them into the registered
So pre-apprenticeship would be like more of a career orientation, or is that?
more of a career orientation.
I see.
To be an apprentice, you have to be employed, right? We have to be with an employer for a minimum of 30 days before you enter the registered apprenticeship program. But the pre-apprenticeship is getting those skills sharp enough so that you can take that test, do well on that test. We can get them right to employers that need them, and then into the registered apprenticeship program.
So there's testing that has to be done?
Yes.
There's probably, they have to do an application?
Oh, just a resume.
Resume is fine?
Resume is fine.
Wow.
We just have a resume. We've actually started testing. We tested some students that came out of Essex Tech, and then we tested some underemployed people. And we give them a reading comprehension test, a math test, and they're allowed to use a calculator on the math test, and a mechanical test. They pass those. They have a resume that shows decent work ethic and some good skills, and we have already started getting those candidates interviewed.
That's fantastic. So,
I'm very proud of my team.
Yeah, this is amazing.
They have really come together, because a lot of them, I have a background in this, but a lot of people that there was a lot of learning curve, even on the company side.
you definitely have the background.
I have the background. I never realized I had the
This is a
background.
match made in heaven.
Yeah. So,
So a veteran wants to apply, goes to the website, gets a cover letter in, a resume and all that, and is laying out a whole foundation for a possible great career.
right.
So this is fascinating stuff, and I
Yeah,
want to continue
yeah.
our conversation. I'm here with Patricia Moran from New Jersey MEP, and we're talking about veterans in manufacturing, and we're going to continue this conversation here after these words from our commercial sponsors.
work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me. Thanks, Liz. A woman without a lot of time.
What can I do?
Whether you're a gourmet cook or just want to eat like one, visit Rostelli Market Fresh, your home for the freshest, locally sourced ingredients to please everyone who loves great food. Our organic meats, quality seafood, and free-range poultry are cut fresh to order. Chefs create culinary-inspired prep foods made fresh every day, which pair nicely with our vast selection of fine wines and spirits. Choose from handmade pastas, artisan cheeses, organic produce, and grocery items, all from the finest purveyors. Rostelli Market Fresh, from our family to yours.
RVN TV is a platform for people of any industry to share their story. Over 285,000 viewers are tuning in to RVN TV shows monthly. We guarantee a great experience that you'll be sharing with everyone you know while increasing your personal and company's brand awareness. But what is your brand? According to Forbes, it's a combination of your logo, your product, your design and feel, and your personality. Did you know that aside from being a guest, we offer even more opportunity to boost your brand? Adding your company logo and website on screen during your interview will allow viewers to recognize your brand instantly. Incorporating images and video clips is another great way to showcase your product during your live segment. Let viewers see how good you really are. And most importantly, there's you and your interview. For less than the cost of a newspaper, direct mail, or a magazine ad, you can leave our studio and within 48 hours have a permanent digital copy of your live segment to link to your social media, embed into your company website, or use in email marketing. Investing in your brand is so very important, and we can't wait to have you as a guest.
Patricia Moran from New Jersey MEP. And it's a real pleasure to be talking about veterans and manufacturing in New Jersey and some great opportunities for veterans and their families to get involved with manufacturing at large for careers. And, you know, we're talking about apprenticeships and all that great stuff that's going on, not just in Jersey, but around the nation. Governor signed some stuff. There's some funding available.
Yep.
You know, one of the things that we talked about earlier, you and I, offline, was about the GI Bill.
Yep.
Potentially, if it can get approved, they may be able to use a GI Bill to help supplement?
Absolutely. They could use the GI Bill to supplement some of this.
Because I know there's some programs that are for like the unions where you can supplement your salary with the GI Bill funding. You know, I know you got to go through the process. It's not approved right now, I believe, correct? But hopefully we can get some attention here.
I would love to get some attention to the GI Bill on this. This would be great because, and there are other programs if like don't want to dive into the full apprenticeship program, there are pieces of the apprenticeship program that actually definitely, and that the GI Bill could help them.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot of great stuff this morning on you know, manufacturing in New Jersey and careers, because you know, we always thought that we didn't really have that kind of opportunity here in New Jersey because they were leaving.
Right.
And
now they're growing.
Now they're growing. They're coming back strong.
11,000 of them in New Jersey.
So I know you have some slides and you have some photos. I think. Do we have any slides or a photo of some of the New Jersey MEP program that we can bring up on the screen and have a good discussion about that as well?
We have one of the programs we're running right now is called Industrial Manufacturing Production Technician, and it is it's what I call the liberal arts of manufacturing.
Okay.
It gives them safety, it gives them quality, it gives them production and process, it gives them maintenance. It's a 1.5-year long program. And it's one of my favorite programs. If there's a young veteran out there that has no manufacturing experience, this would be awesome for him.
They teach them the whole foundation.
The whole foundation of manufacturing. And from there, they could figure out where they want to specialize after that. So these pictures that we're going to bring up actually are of some of those students in that. So this first one, here we are. This is what we call cohort 1 or group 1 of our apprenticeship. We have 17 students in this class. And here they're doing some hands-on work with calipers and some of the tooling that they would actually use in their manufacturing jobs.
So they'll be trained on how to use these kinds of measurement tools.
The big
and
thing is measurement.
quality assurance kind of stuff.
When you talk to our manufacturers, one of the biggest problems is measurement.
Yeah.
You know, I had a manufacturer tell me, he said, it held up the ruler. He says, I got to have them go down to the 16th to 24th, the inch. They have to know measurement.
Now, will they be tested on this as well? How to
They
use
do.
these tools?
We're getting to that slide.
Oh,
That
okay.
slide's coming
Could
up.
we have the next slide?
Yeah. This particular slide actually shows the classroom beginning to learn blueprint reading, and we have them working in groups. Now, some of them have some blueprint reading experience, and some of them were brand new to blueprint reading. So you see a good bit of the group in this class, and you see the NJMEP logo in there also. But, ProAction is our network, so it's what we feed into. Sometimes we feed students to community colleges or to not-for-profits for additional services. So yeah, this is a good bit of cohort
It's a
1.
decent amount of people, too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
we-
16 in cohort 1.
That's a good class size.
Yeah, the second group is smaller.
I think
but
we have
yeah.
another slide as well.
Yep. Here we have an actual student up at the screen reading and interpreting the blueprint and going over a specific issue. And I love the fact that the class that this particular instructor is a college instructor also. I've known him for years. And he always gets the students very involved in the projects. They do a project in there where their employers will come in and review the project plan with them.
So this is hands-on.
Oh, very much so.
You're learning, the concept, and then you're applying it.
You're applying it. Yep, and it
Fantastic.
complements their on-the-job learning. The whole idea is what they're learning in the classroom, because there's not that many classroom hours, but the on-the-job learning, it complements and expands the on-the-job learning. That's the whole idea behind it.
And the military is the same way, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We have block training,
Yeah.
where you learn something in the classroom for 5 days, and then you go in the field.
Exactly the same.
Something similar.
In fact, our program is 4 days on the job, 1 day in the classroom.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I think we have another slide.
Yeah, they're getting ready here to take what's called their MSSC test. And this particular program has 4 MSSC credentials. MSSC stands for Manufacturing Skills Standards Council, and they're recognized, it's an industry valued credential recognized nationally in manufacturing. So this particular apprenticeship program contains 4, 1 for safety, 1 for quality, 1 for production and process, and 1 for maintenance. And this particular group of students that we're looking at is group 1. And for the first credential, which was safety, I had 100% pass rate.
That's phenomenal.
And today, this afternoon, they take the production and process
Okay.
test. So I'm excited about
That's
that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You mentioned employers before.
Yeah.
So how does that relate to the apprenticeship program? Do they take the exam for entry level to get in, and then get accepted into the program,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then they match up with an employer?
No, how it works is you're not an apprentice until you're employed. You have to be
Okay.
employed. That's number 1. So one of the things, an apprentice, the whole principle is that there is business engagement.
Okay.
There is employer engagement. So they take the test, right? They do well. We send their resume on to, let's say it's 8 employers. The employers bring them in.
Okay.
And they interview them just like they're every other student, right? Any other applicant.
Pipelined right in.
Pipeline, and if the employer accepts them, then they have to employ them 30 days, a minimum of 30 days, before they can put them into the registered apprenticeship program.
And so then, of course, the pre-apprenticeship program would be a
feeder.
a feeder pipeline for that.
Yeah, exactly right.
I see.
That's
Okay.
exactly.
Get them the interest.
Yep.
Get the career orientation to say, here's what, an opportunity, I love this is what I want to do, and then keep going with the process.
Yep. The
I see.
pre-apprenticeship historically is a feeder to have students try out the occupation before.
Almost even like a job shadow in a way.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, the same idea.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Same idea.
Can you give another plug to
Absolutely.
your program?
It's the website is www.njmep.org.
Where are you located at?
We're located in Cedar Knolls, but we are, most of our employees are on the road. I know that I am on the road a lot. Our 4th group of apprentices is going to take place at RCBC.
Right down here.
Right, and we're hoping to even continue to grow in the South. We have a lot, and we have our third cohort is at Essex County, at Essex Tech School, the brand new school, the Donald Payne School.
I see. So you're partnering with education learning institutes. You're expanding with employers in New Jersey or with manufacturing and so forth. What seems to be the hot career these days for manufacturing, for whether you're a veteran or not a veteran? What seems to be the hot one?
Well, I will tell you, in manufacturing, a lot of people they start their career in the lower levels. They start as technicians, they start as laborers. And then from there, there's opportunities for team leader, for supervisor, for superintendent. But then there are people, so when I entered manufacturing at Ford, I went into the human resource area and I went into training and development. So training and development was where I started. But I know people that entered manufacturing from finance, that perspective, or from planning and logistics, because you can't
All
have
great jobs.
Yeah, wonderful jobs and wonderful paying jobs. So, one of the things I always will remember when the Edison assembly plant closed their doors, it didn't just affect Edison assembly plant. It affected the pizzeria. It
Correct.
affected the coffee shop. It affected the dry cleaners.
Correct.
It affected the school system. So manufacturing builds that economy, and I think that's such a critical piece that's so important.
Absolutely, and relatable to that is when they close a military installation.
Right.
Like when they closed Fort Monmouth. The impact, the economic impact
Yep.
it had in that area. It took a long time for the fort to come back.
Yeah.
Now it's coming back as a civilian counterpart.
Yes.
But it's taken almost 10 years.
Has it been 10 years?
It's
My
been a long
gosh.
time.
Yeah.
And so they're finally getting companies to come on the fort for that. But it's great to hear and see great opportunity in manufacturing that is available. What other advice can you give someone who's leaving the military and interested in manufacturing? What advice would you give them?
I'm going to tell you one of the things, of course,
Put on your college hat.
I'm putting on my college hat now. And even though I know I plugged NJMEP's website, and if people are doing career exploration, I always think it's great to go to ONET. I don't know how many people know this. It's an onetonline.org. And you're able to see all the different aspects of different careers. You're able to see if New Jersey, or wherever you live, is able to has those jobs, if there's job openings. If you have young people, I remember my own kids, we checked ONET to make sure when they got out of college, there were going to be potential job openings for them. So I think it's a government website, and I think it's a great website for everybody to use. Of course, NJMEP.org is an important one for manufacturing, gives you a lot of manufacturing background. We're also having Manufacturing Day on October 4th, and that information is on the NJMEP website.
So there's a community outreach.
Oh, yeah, they do. All the manufacturers come to Manufacturing Day. I'm going to be interviewing apprentices.
That's like
Yeah.
a fish in a bowl.
It's a fish in a bowl.
In a
That's exactly
barrel.
right. And they will meet millions of, not millions, but a lot. I think last year, I think we had 400 people there. So it's a great, it's in Somerset, I believe.
Somerset.
Yep.
So, and that's on your website.
That's on the website. Yep.
That's
I can't
fantastic.
tell you the times. I didn't get that down. But it is an all-day affair. Yeah.
So we talked a number of things today about entry into NJMEP, and that program, the apprenticeship program, the process, if
Yep.
you will. Now, from an employer perspective, they're looking for those core values, as you mentioned. And I'm a former aircraft mechanic in the Air Force. I was a flight engineer as well, and then some leadership roles. And so from an employer perspective, how are their acknowledgement of bringing in veterans into their company?
I'm going to tell you, I think so.
The difference or
I think
the
they see
willingness
the-
to hire more veterans?
I'm going to tell you absolutely 100% yes. However, I also think sometimes the veteran and veterans don't always during the interview. They're afraid to. They don't know how to showcase those skills.
I see the same thing.
Yeah. So I think knowing that, and I don't think they realize how much they learned in the service, and how much had the discipline and the work ethic. And I think if I were to give advice to a veteran, and I did it last night, You know, those are things that are very important. They know how to get to work on time. They know how to measure. They've had all the technical training. They know how to work under stress. They know how to work with others. They know how to work in a team. Those soft, even though people call them soft skills, those things are incredibly important. And I know for a fact that manufacturing appreciates
Sounds
that.
great. So I deal a lot with the TAP program, which is Transition Assistance Program, and program managers that run that. On the military installation at a joint base, as an example, they have all kinds of folks that have that who are getting out of the military and active duty, Guard, Reserve, retiring as well, pre-separation or leaving early. So learning about this is fantastic. Now I'm armed. Now I can go back to the program managers and say, hey, NJMEP is making a difference in New Jersey.
We are.
And absolutely being able to help someone find a career.
And if we don't know, part of this pro-action piece, if we aren't able to do it. Yesterday I had someone ask me, it wasn't a veteran, but they said, I know I really need to sharpen my PLC skills. I knew exactly what community college to give them to. It wasn't for us, but you know what? I want to be able to showcase them, and I want to be able to help them get to the location to improve their skills so they can move on, and that's incredibly important.
So your college professor, your
I
student, your mentoring is coming out strong.
Yeah.
This has been a fantastic opportunity to meet you again and learn more about NJMEP and all the great things that you're doing for New Jersey. And I know you're working every day hard to make that happen. I can't thank you enough for being on the show today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Absolutely.
This has
Anytime.
been such a rewarding opportunity to meet you and learn more about NJMEP.
My pleasure.
I want to say thank you again to Patricia Moran for being here today, coming all the way from North Jersey into Cherry Hill for RVN Television. And want to thank the listening audience for watching the show, Bridging the Gap for Veterans. And we look forward to next Friday for another great show, and have a wonderful weekend as well.